Well, I am Dr. Loam. I am a pediatrician and founder of Generational Wellbeing. Very passionate about helping parents create sustainable, healthy habits for themselves and their children so they can start changing the narrative from disease to wellness for themselves and for their families. So, if this is your first time here, welcome. And today I will be talking about gratitude and just, talking about making gratitude a habit as a way to help your family's mental health. Because as we know, there is a mental health crisis, not only for adults, but especially with children. And the most recent statistics actually show that 1 in 12 children have severe depression. And these are kids between the ages of 9 to 16, with girls affected more than boys. And when we're talking about severe depression, we're talking about kids who are really severely inhibited by these symptoms. And so with that being said, I think we as parents and we as caregivers have to really be intentional about providing the resources for our kids to help them really manage the stressors and stuff. And when I even quote the statistics, it's sad because most of the kids who are going through this go on unrecognized and stuff, and we're seeing that where there's a high rate of suicide. In some cases, the parents or the family did not even realize that the kids were going through whatever they were going through, and not to point fingers, but to just say, hey, we have to really be start really paying attention, because it's very normal for kids to just hide those feelings, those emotions, because they just don't know what to do with them. So today we'll be talking about really as a step, just or as a tool to use gratitude as a way to really help with the mental well-being of ourselves and as for our families too. So welcome. And I'll preface this also by stating that over the last few years, this problem has really increased because we've had more information. We're more developed than we've ever been, and modernized, and everything is easy and everything is quick. But also as a result of that, there's been a shift to focus more on the cognitive, on the analytic, on the rationalization, where if there is a problem, it's okay, what's the problem? What's the solution? Let's fix it. Let's go. And we've lost, for lack of a better word, that sense of humanity that comes with it, right? Every person is so unique. We can have 5 people experience the same thing, but process it absolutely differently, and their body's reaction to it very differently. So in addition to the cognitive, we have to bring in mind that emotional aspect is absolutely important when it comes to well-being, when it comes to wellness, and when it comes to disease prevention too. Because research is also showing that if our emotional well-being is not managed in childhood, and we have adverse childhood events, that if they're not really managed and taken care of early on, it's kind of correlated with disease down the line. So this is important to talk about. So as we talk about, what does gratitude have to do with everything? Gratitude, because it's a way to really stop and pause and model to your kids that yes, there's a lot of things going on, stressful events going on, but there's still some good out there, and that goes a long way with helping with their self-esteem, help boost their confidence, and all of that. So I will talk about a story, like a patient story. I once had the talk to this kid, and they came in because the kid was cutting or slashing her wrist. And that was what really triggered the parents to look for help. And as we were talking about all the events that had happened, I had to ask the kid, like, why? And a poor kid was only 6, but she said her friend told her to do it because her family was going through a huge change at that time. And as parents, or as we try to not show our emotions or cry in front of our kids, we act like everything is perfect, but they can really see it. And this kid was going through some stressors and emotions that she did not really understand what they meant or understand how to process it. And so her mind was overworking. She was not getting enough sleep. She was not doing well at school. And she was getting the same message that something is wrong with you. And when she finally talked to her friend, another 6-year-old, told her, if you cut your hand, it will make you feel better. Now, this is a conversation between 2 6-year-olds. So that tells us there's a problem. There's a problem that needs to they are feeling the same kind of emotions that we are feeling when we go through a stressful situation. As our heart rates go up, as long as we have anxiety and stress in the midst of a difficult situation, they are going through the same thing. So what can we do to help? So the first thing I'll talk about is really modeling. It's easy to push and shove everything aside and tell them it's okay. But we all know that once you suppress it, after a while, it's going to be released at some point. And oftentimes it's released towards our kids, where we're just lashing out, leave me alone, go to your room, and all of that stuff, where they are taking the end of the stick or the end of everything. And then once they take that, they internalize it, and they think that they're the problem. Maybe it's because of me that my family is going through this. And we're not putting them acting as they are a part of the solution to the problem, or part of the family where maybe we can talk to them about it. So what can you do? Model it. If you're feeling sad, you can tell your kids, I'm feeling sad because of this and this and this. It's okay to cry in front of them, so that it's a normal feeling, where if I feel sad, it's not me who's the problem. It's normal to feel sad. It's okay to cry. And then after you cry, you're going to work through the problems together, because that will go a long way to help build their self-esteem and stuff. And even when modeling that too, we're modeling gratefulness. Yes, it was a long day, it was a tough day, but I am grateful for. So we're focusing on the good and not just the bad. And we're focusing on, yes, I had a rough time, but I'm grateful that I have the strength enough to take care of this. I'm grateful I still have a job, right? And all of that stuff, where they know that, yes, there's stressors in life, but there are also some things that we should be grateful for. And the second thing is incorporating gratefulness at the end of the day really goes a long way to help with sleep and improves restorative sleep. Because at the end of the day, when you have or make it that habit of really focusing or kind of reflecting through the day and finding that one thing you're grateful for, and you can do this with kids with every age. It's just going to be different based on the age. Say if you have like a kid who's, say, in preschool or kindergarten, maybe just having a conversation about what happened at school, or what friends did you have, what did you play, and stuff like that. What are you grateful for? Just that one thing. And you can go ahead and follow up that with a book, that a good book to read that will really focus on positivity and stuff. Maybe, I read frequently with my kids. Now she's into Dr. Seuss, All the Places to Go, or Sometimes I Like Myself, and stuff like that. That goes to really help them build their self-esteem, knowing that even though we're different, I am okay with who I am, and stuff like that. And that helps with their sleep. It helps them relax and sleep and have that sense of safety. And the other thing it can do is it also kind of prepares them for the next day. I had made a reel one time when I talked about my kid not wanting to go to school the next day because she had bath it the day before. But after talking about it, the following day she was looking forward to go to school. So that really goes a long way with not only helping the sleep that will improve their overall well-being, but it also helps them to look forward to the following day, because they feel that sense of their self-esteem is improved, their confidence is improved, and they can go through knowing that I am okay. And then the third and final thing I'll talk about is actually incorporating gratitude into your everyday's activity. It doesn't only have to be, say on Thanksgiving we talk about what we're grateful for, but really expressing gratitude and appreciating our kids, right? Because yes, we are always doing for them, but there are certain things that will do for us too. But really appreciating, I like the way you did that. And that goes a long way to say, yes, I am a valuable part of the family too, and appreciate other people in their presence. So if you're talking about someone, instead of really focusing the conversation about the bad things that happen throughout the day, you can really focus on the good traits that you appreciate in other people and the good relationships or good connections that you make, because we all know that high quality relationships go a long way in helping helping kids with, in stressful situations or anxiety situations. Especially you can tell the difference with how a kid goes through a particular situation based on the high quality or the connectedness they have either with the parents or with somebody in the family that they can really open up to. But we have to teach them how to build those connections too, by showing them the traits to look for in the relationship and stuff. So really appreciating the people around us and appreciating the qualities so they can understand the kind of qualities to look for in relationships. Also helping them to give too. And when I say give, again, it's different based on how old your child is. Giving in a sense of helping or giving, providing help for maybe an elderly person in the grocery store, help them put their cards back together. That's showing that there's that sense of purpose. If it's a teenager, maybe having them volunteer somewhere, which gives them a sense of purpose, and that goes a long way to improve, again, the self-esteem and improve their sense of worth, because we know even with anxiety and with depression and stuff, the worst part of it is that sense of hopelessness. So if you go around every day being beat up, you're not being listened to, you're not being heard, not at home, not at school, where things are not working, that sense of hopelessness really increases the risk of suicide and depression. So really being intentional about doing that, or having them getting involved where they're giving and involved in their communities, that really helps them to combat stressful situations whenever that may be. So the three things we talked about: modeling, and then incorporating it into the night or bedtime routine, where we're practicing daily things that we're grateful for at the end of the day, and incorporating it, whether it's expressing and in action too. And once you start doing that daily, it becomes a norm. And we have you can see that it helps to really improve the overall mental well-being of the kid. So I hope this resonates. If you have any questions, any comments, you can leave it in the comment box. And that's it for today. Until next time, again, I am Dr. Loam.